Hello, Nikki. Thank you for being, offering to be interviewed for Inspiring Northeast TV, where we'll talk about coaching skills today and the importance of coaching skills for adults and young people, really. Do you want to tell me why you've trained as a coach?
Well, I'd retired and I was looking for something meaningful and had purpose. And I realised that actually I really enjoyed having conversations with friends and exploring when they hit blocks in their life and were wondering how to make solutions on things. And so as I explored, coaching came out as really the favourite thing that I'd like to do.
Great. While we're on that subject, what do you think about young people learning coaching skills? Do you think is it like a basic skill, do you think?
I think it is. Obviously active listening is a key part of that. And I think that's a key skill for life. And similarly, I think understanding how your past affects your current and how you think and where feelings come in and working out what you're about and then coming against obstacles in your life or challenges in your life and then working out how to overcome them. We all have them. And the skills in coaching help you to navigate that process.
Do you think everybody should have a good coach in their lives?
Well, I think that would be jolly good. I would have liked to have had a coach all my life.
Certainly, yes. Can you tell me what sort of people you help?
Well, a variety, really. I advertise broadly and I don't make any distinction between, if you like. I think generally it would be people who are ready to reflect on themselves and explore themselves and exploring how they're thinking, feeling and acting and ready to make a change. That would be the sort of requirement, I think, to get much out of coaching.
Yeah, excellent. So thinking about young people, say, who also would like to train as a coach, what sort of skills, you mentioned a few there before, but what sort of skills and qualities do you think a good coach needs?
I think an interest in people, an interest in psychology in a sense, without any formal qualification in psychology. I think that interest in how we operate, how we tick as human beings, and how we are all very different and yet same in some ways. I think people who like to listen to people, because it's not a profession for talking, it's a profession for listening. And what is good about it, I think, is that you can be self-employed and there's huge amounts of freedom in that. You're not necessarily employed by anybody and can run your business as you like.
Excellent. So a good career choice then. If a young person, say, left school at 18, got qualified as a coach, set up a business, do you think, is it lucrative enough to sort of earn enough?
It can be. It's not the top end of the market that I'm looking for my own clients. Mm-hmm. I think if you're 18, I think what could be a challenge would be the age group with which you coach, because really you haven't got huge amounts of life experience, and while you can learn the process and techniques, which mean that it is potentially possible, I think it may be challenging sometimes. Having said that, there would be lots of people sort of over a certain age that could do with some coaching in their school years, 16 plus sort of thing. Once they become independent adults, considered legally like that, then I could see that there would be value in an 18-year-old learning to coach.
Actually, while we mentioned that, could we imagine a scenario where young people are taught coaching skills, say in secondary education, and who actually could offer some mentoring to young people, say in primary? It's not such a bad idea, is it? Because they have got enough experience of childhood.
Yes,
but they would need supervision, obviously.
Yes, they would. But, yes, cascading that skill and promoting that leadership role would be useful.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's very interesting. So, but if you were having a career as a successful coach, what do you think it takes as a person to keep that career going? That's a hard question. I guess it's a self-employment thing, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, I think for me it would be. Having a broad area of coaching places to go. So, for instance, I would explore helping to teach and support trainee coaches in a coaching centre. I would have individual coachees, clients. I would also look perhaps to tap into organisations and do group coaching or linked with them and sort of caught up with them, so that I've got different ways of being and different arenas with which to apply my coaching skills.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. What do you think is the best thing about being a life coach?
I think the process of listening, and on the back of that, asking some incisive questions that open up for the client an understanding that they didn't have before, and the look on their face with the aha, yes, and suddenly things drop into place for them and enable them to make a real change. It's an incredibly powerful process, can be. And when you see that power in operation, not really because of what you've done, you've simply listened, maybe even just reflected back what the client has said, or asked a question, and then suddenly things slot into place for the client. That's a lovely feeling.
Yeah, excellent. And what do you think the hardest thing is about being a coach?
I think it depends on your own weak spots, I guess. I guess some people might go into coaching because they feel that they need to be needed. And obviously every client doesn't always want you and can reject you, and then that would be challenging for you. Or you may go in because you want to tell lots of people how to do life, and they may tap on areas where you have been challenged and overcome it, and you're very keen to tell people how to do that. And again, it's not the thing to do as a coach, and it could go very sour, in which case that would be challenging. So I think it depends. I think it requires quite a lot of your own self-awareness about your weak spots, so that you remain in the healthy self when you're coaching, and don't get caught up in any needs that you may have. They need not to appear, or if they do, you need to minimize them. So, yeah.
Excellent, thank you. Just thinking on the work front now, what sort of jobs, let's just quickly do some thinking about what sort of jobs need coaching skills, where it would be really important to be able to listen and ask questions.
Health professions do a lot of questioning and answering and listening, and trying to make sense of information. But they wouldn't be necessarily applying coaching questions.
Yes.
In the environment. The police, detectives.
Yes.
I think everybody potentially could benefit from having coaching, whether it's in their personal life or professional life. Where there are obstacles, where there's lack of confidence to do something, where they have a mental block on doing something, whether it's in a professional or personal life. So I think it goes right across society, because we're all people and we've all got stuff we carry, which sometimes interferes with us doing the best that we can in particular situations.
You're absolutely right, because every single interview I've done, when you come down to it and say, what's the biggest barrier in terms of somebody achieving their aspirations, it always, I mean, obviously apart from poverty and all the other, the barriers that are obviously very, very genuine, it always comes down to confidence.
Yes.
And I guess that's why every young person should have a coaching figure.
Yes.
Just to help develop that sense of confidence.
No, that's right. And most organisations would say that the most important thing to their organisation is their people. And while they will invest often in professional development, I think sometimes the softer side of actually how to be the best boss, how to manage people, how to manage yourself, can sometimes be less important than perhaps the professional skills and knowledge.
No, that's great. If anybody would like to contact you, obviously we can put your contact details on.
Yes.
On this web, and is there any way that other people could help you?
I think word of mouth, I guess. I would like to, my ambition would be that I develop a good reputation and that actually I get clients by word of mouth. So obviously my clients are my best potential people to do that, but obviously other people are able to do that as they get to know my business.
And of course you've got a wealth of university background and experience, haven't you, behind you? So for example, any students out there who would like some support, it would be good to come, it would be good because you also have that understanding about academic life, etc. as well.
Yes, I have understanding about that. Obviously, as they'll be aware, the coaching isn't supplying answers to those processes, writing an essay, but supporting them in their blocks of time management, perhaps, or working through how to process the process of learning how to write an essay or access information. Certainly, coaching would help.
That's great. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Nikki, for your time today. It's been lovely to talk to you, and good luck with your future ventures, and hope to see you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.